Earlier this month, a 19-year-old killed in a drive-by shooting was buried. He was Annie Dirk's grandson. In the past 5 months, she's buried 2 grandsons and her own teenage son, all victims of senseless gang-related shootings. Good boys who Annie says were in the wrong place at the wrong time.
It's a lot of hurt and it's just a lot of grief. I just started crying.
I was doing a seance in my room one night, doing a blood sacrifice, and I was invoking the spirit world, saying my chants and all that. And out of nowhere, the whole motherfucking bed in my room literally like yanked off the wall. I'm talking about it took like 8 niggas to carry this bed in the first place. It was one of those big wood, heavy, thick ass beds, man. It scared me so much, man. I jumped out the bed, ran, fell all in my room, trying to cut the. I knew it was some demonic shit feeling. I done had motherfucking crab niggas draw down on me with pistols. I done had niggas shoot at me dead brain range, so I know what the feeling feel like when you about to die. I know exactly what it feel like, and that's exactly how I felt in that room. And there was no reason for me to be feeling like that, because we always pray to the 13th candle. We always do the same shit in the satanic rituals. For some reason, when that night while I was doing this ritual, I think God kind of maybe pulled this little aura away from me and let me see just how real Satan is.
Some names become legend, whispered on dark streets where the truth is blurred by fear. Cleamon Johnson, they called him Big Evil, a man who could smile in your face and pull the trigger before you finish blinking. But there's a side to every legend, isn't there? To the neighbors on East 88th Street in Los Angeles, Cleamon was a protector, a man who retrieved a stolen purse before the police could even write a report. They said he helped carry groceries, fix bikes for the neighborhood kids, and crack jokes at block parties. But those same streets, they were stained with secrets.
It has been another violent weekend among the gangs of California. A man who was standing in line to see Colors, the movie about gangs, was shot in the head by someone wearing the colors of a rival gang. So far this year, almost 100 people have been killed in gang-related violence in the Los Angeles area. And for every death, as Bonnie Strauss reports, there are related victims.
It's early morning in South Central Los Angeles, and it's anybody's guess who will get killed tonight.
Roger, I just want to make sure we have the house secured and I'll make an entry. Push your hand down, what are you looking at?
This is now a war zone where life is cheap, some say worthless.
If I go in the wrong neighborhood and they see me, and if I got a gun, most likely if it's more than one, most likely I'm gonna shoot one of them.
Clovis was only 12 when he joined a gang known as the Bloods.
This is all blood, and this is a blood neighborhood.
He says he joined a gang for status and power.
That's all you're looking for is most respect. Like if you go to jail, they say, well, he bad, so give him his respect. If I can take over another neighborhood by myself, I feel I'm the baddest one around.
The Neighborhood Family Bloods, also known as Neighborhood Family Swan Bloods or Family Swan Bloods, are a street gang based on the east side of South Los Angeles. Their territory spans from Manchester Avenue to 92nd Street, and they're allied with the Mad Swan Bloods under the quote-unquote Family Swans Alliance. The gang consists of 2 cliques, the 89 and 9 Deuce Neighborhood Family Bloods, with many youth members attending Fremont High School. They maintain rivalries with several Crip sets and other gangs. Rapper B Real from Cypress Hill is also a member of the infamous Family Swans. He explains in the past interview he did with DJ Vlad.
Well, at one point you joined the Neighborhood Family Bloods.
Yeah.
Which I guess also Family Swan Bloods.
Yeah.
Known today.
Mm-hmm.
Were you kind of following in your dad's footsteps in a way? Or
No, because that was something he was not down with at all. Like one of my older brothers, you know, he was in gangs too. We were the only 2. My father, his was not gang related. It was something deeper, you know. He would never tell us, but it was something deeper than gangs, right? My brother, he was involved with gangs. He went with Latin, you know, with the Latin gangs with brown folks. I went a different way, you know. I lived in a different neighborhood. I hung out with different cats than my older brother, you know what I'm saying? Different times. And, you know, I connected with my homies from families through Sendog. You know, he went to school with one of the homies down there, and every now and then when he'd go visit homie in the hood, I'd go with him. And I started, you know, being friends with a lot of these homies and like that, we connected on different things. And I was a youngster. There was a lot of motherfuckers older than me, and there was motherfuckers my age, obviously, because with the gang, you have all sorts of different ages. Motherfuckers that want to get in early or that are born into it early. You know me, because of my family background, I just sort of naturally fell into it. You know, it was something that I had a choice. It wasn't like no one was not giving me a choice, like, hey, you need to be down with this, or else this or that. It was something I chose. It called to me and I went to it.
August 5th, 1991, South Central Los Angeles. Donald Ray Loggins, a family man, heads home from work like he does every day without fail, but that night, he never made it back. To Cleamon Johnson, Loggins was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. East of Central Avenue, where territory lines are drawn and blood and loyalty is proven with death. Loggins and his friend were marked for execution. Neither one a gang member, neither part of the violent world Cleamon ruled. But Big Evil saw an opportunity to teach a new recruit a lesson about power. And in a flash, 2 lives were gone. By 1994, Cleamon Johnson had become more myth than man. Police attributed more than 20 murders to his name, though some whispered it was way more. Yet for all his crimes, Big Evil carried himself with a disarming charm. Detectives described a man who could joke and laugh one moment, then coldly order a killing the next. A human riddle, both charismatic and calculated. He had a simple motto: I don't answer to nobody. What I do is what I want to do and when I want to do it. The police weren't just fighting a man, they were fighting a ghost. Witnesses disappeared, evidence went cold, and those brave enough to speak, they met brutal ends before trial dates could even be set. One detective recalled, he laughed in our faces, boasted about his kills. We knew it was him, everyone knew, but proving it, that was the impossible part. Big Evil was known to openly worship Satan, and he was a dedicated follower. All of the gang members knew about it, whether it was allies in his set or the ops that he hunted down. He was so into devil worshiping, he influenced his little brother, who would go by the name Sinister. They both would participate in devil worship and put curses on their enemies. As crazy as this may sound, there were a lot of gang members who worshiped the devil as well, especially back then.
Did you ever run across Evil in time bomb?
Me and Evil, we was in the pen together. So Evil came up to me, and Sinister from Swan, you know, and Evil, you know, all of them, they was doing their thing, worshiping the devil. And I was trying to worship the devil, you know, all in the crypt module, because I got bitter with God, you know, but I knew God.
Wait.
Yeah.
Explain that.
Mm-hmm.
Worshiping the devil. What does that mean?
Well, that mean like
what's the process in that? What are you doing?
The process and everything in that, you know, just like they got the Holy Bible, they got devil Bibles, they got devil churches.
Who introduced you to that shit?
Well, I got a pampering from a white boy when I was in the crib module in the county jail. I went to court, and the white boy was telling me about it and everything. And so I was like, you know, in the wheelchair, shot up. Then as soon as I started walking, got out the wheelchair. 2 years later, I get shot 7 more times. So I was just like bitter towards God, you know, but I knew God. Moms took me to church all the time. I knew Jesus Christ was my Lord and Savior, you know, and died for my sin. But I got bitter. I was like, well, God letting all this happen to me. I was like, shit, fucking motherfucker shoot me and I'm in the wheelchair, and then gonna shoot me again and I'm in the wheelchair and shit. So I was like, I fucked up shooting everybody. I was like, I want everybody with a limp. All you motherfuckers with a limp.
What you doing? You practicing this shit, writing the stars on the ground and all that?
Yeah, so I took off. The guy told me what to do, so I wrote these people in Texas, a devil church. They sent me a devil Bible. So I started taking the Bible, reading it, and you know, I started doing this shit on the floor with the candles and shit in it. So I got this dog one time and said, get the dog feet and put it in the candle in the middle of the circle with the stars. So I shot the dog in the alley cut his feet off with the little axe thing I had. I took it and put the in the circle, and the homies laugh, and they like, look at this stupid, this nigga burned out. So I'm sitting there doing all the little satanic shit, and I'm putting curses on swans and hoovers and Broadways, and I'm doing this curses, and I'm up here doing all this shit. And the homies like, we on the streets in my mother's garage in the back. I mean, her shack. She had a patio. She let me turn the patio into a shack. So I'm in there doing all this shit, 6'6" stuff, and screaming out Satan names, shot light, you know, and
Here's a blood gang member from the Pasadena, Denver lanes talking about how he was influenced by Sinister himself to get into demonic worship. He even breaks down satanic worship, and he shares exactly what Sinister told him.
You disrespect the devil, you disrespect the Denver. You disrespect the mafia, you disrespect the... It's all the same stuff. But yeah, when I was a young nigga, I don't want to put the homie name out there. He resting in peace anyway now. But he kind of introduced me to some shit that was a little dark side. You know, it's a little evil. We was on some satanic worship shit. And I was actually doing that for about maybe 7-8 years. I was heavy into the satanic worship. My mom and my family thought I was crazy and shit, you know. I'm talking to the preachers left and right, asking is heaven open for niggas like me? And they can't even give me an answer, you know what I'm saying? And if you ask me how I got in this shit, man, I can honestly say I wanted power at a young age. I wanted to be balling like the rest of the niggas. I don't want to be out here on no struggle niggas. So if a nigga tell me the easiest way to fame is to commit myself to Satan, at that point in my life, that's what I did. You know what I'm saying? That's what I did. And I don't have no regrets on doing that because it made me who I am. Man, I've seen a lot of shit. When you worship the devil, you don't see shit the normal niggas see. And I always tell the homies that niggas be playing this shit, saying, oh, it ain't no God, ain't no devil. Okay, that's bull. You want to know? I'm telling any nigga right now, if you want to know on Bloods, on Lanes, if God or the devil is real, worship the devil. And you going to find out how real this shit is, my nigga. Man, you probably look at me like an animal if I was to tell you the kind of shit we was doing just to gain recognition from Satan. And the first thing Satan wants you to do is denounce the Holy Ghost, which is considered the number one sin in the Bible, the number one unforgivable sin in the Bible. If any nigga study the Bible knows that, you know, and that's fucked up to hearing that for a nigga like me. I did all of that over and over, numerous times, blasphemy against the Holy Ghost. So I always be thinking sometimes like, low key, if there is a heaven or a hell, I'm already on my way down, you know. Speaking for me and my crowd, like I said, I'm not gonna put no names out there because that's something I don't know if everybody want to disclose the fact that they done played with the devil. A nigga rather tell you he didn't fuck the nigga in his butt or snitched on paperwork before you. I'm just telling you, niggas. And when I told the homies I was doing my interview, my little crowd that I got down with the dark side with, niggas like don't put my name out there. That was back then, and I'm gonna respect that. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna respect that because I don't give a fuck, though. I'm gonna speak the truth. I'm gonna tell the truth. But when you caught up in that satanic shit, it's like every day you want to purposely do something to hurt a motherfucker or kill a motherfucker. Or every day your main focus is to go shoot or hurt somebody because you want to absorb the motherfucking energy from your enemies. You know what I'm saying? Period. Just like my nigga Sinister used to tell me for Swans, rest in peace. You want to absorb the energy from your enemies. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we was on. We was on the real dark side, the left. They call it the left hand. You know what I'm saying? In the satanic circles, it's called the left hand. You got the right hand, which is the godly walk, which was half of society, professed to walk. And then you got the left hand path where niggas like me was caught up in. You know what I'm saying?
No rain lasts forever. And in 1997, the cracks began to show. 3 witnesses stepped forward, men with their own past, their own demons, but this time, they were ready to talk. The courtroom was cold on December 12, 1997, but the tension burned out. A city watched and waited. Cleamon sat motionless as the clerk announced the jury's verdict: death. Expressionless, unfazed. But those who knew him best say that wasn't the end of Big Evil's story. Even behind bars, his influence rippled through the streets. Whispers spoke of orders carried out from prison walls, of shadows moving where the man once stood. And yet, in his old neighborhood, Cleamon's legacy remains conflicted. He was a monster, one prosecutor declared, a predator who terrorized this city because he could. But on East 88th Street, they remember something different. He was a good guy, one neighbor said. If something went wrong, you went to evil. He made things right. Even those who admired him knew there were two sides to the man. We hit the ground 4 times a week from all of the shootings, one neighbor confessed. But as for Cleamon, I never saw that side of him. In 2021, while still incarcerated and behind bars, Big Evil's son, Cleamon Big Johnson Jr., was shot and killed. He was shot in Koreatown, according to Los Angeles medical examiners, and he was shot multiple times. Before we continue with Big Evil's story, we have to talk about his little brother. He went by the name Sinister, and he was just as deadly as his big brother Big Evil. Both brothers were active Family Swan members, and they both actively worshiped the devil. It started with summer afternoons on 80th and Central in Los Angeles, Kool-Aid smiles, and backyard games beneath a bright California sun. But this is no tale of innocence. It's about a man the world would come to know as Sinister. Timothy Wayne Johnson, born into a family that loved fiercely. His parents gave all they had: weekend camping trips, discipline for missteps, and endless hope. But in South Central, hope had competition. Drew Middle School, rivalries sparked between gangs. The 89 Family Swans tugged hard at the Johnson brothers. In love, it was lost. By his teenage years, Timothy was a name whispered on the street corners and feared in neighborhoods. His older brother, Cleamon, was already a leader. Timothy inevitably drawn into a war for turf, power, and survival. They called them bloodthirsty Satan worshippers, a reputation born from violence and terror. Tamika Crawford remembers how the Johnson brothers froze rooms just by walking in. Parties stopped, eyes lowered. Fear was the currency they traded. When bodies turned cold, police came knocking. Timothy's name was always on the list, but fear kept witnesses silent. Truth stayed locked behind closed lips. Music offered Timothy a different future. With the infamous Suge Knight, he landed a deal. A debut album, a new beginning, but the streets were never far behind. He had dreams of being a father, a husband, a man free of his past. But freedom's hard to come by when the past still calls your name. November 25th, 2007, Timothy was heading home from a party when fate caught up. Shots rang out. By the time police arrived, he was gone. His only companion, a pit bull puppy that curled up on his dead body for warmth. His murder still unsolved. The streets still silent. Was it a rival setting scores, or did his own neighborhood turn on him? No one knows. The man they call Sinister left behind questions as cold as the case itself. But one thing's clear: some stories never rest. They haunt the streets forever. In the end, perhaps Cleamon Johnson was both protector and predator, a man shaped by his world, and the force that shaped it in return. But one thing is certain: his name still lingers in the air, heavy with history, shrouded in mystery. Because even legends born in darkness are never truly forgotten. Alright y'all, there y'all have it. That's been the story of Big Evil and his little brother Sinister. You know, we had to take it to Cali with this one. But hey man, get in that comment section. Let me know what y'all think, man. These dudes used to worship the devil, man. That's crazy. But hey, you know what it is, man. Drillers and trappers, we out here trapping and drilling 247. You already know what the saying is, man. Don't go nowhere. Watch that next video. Gang!